Imagine your life turned upside down in a flash of an eye. Your child comes to you and tells you that they are a victim of sexual assault. It happens each and every day to many of us. What you do with such a tragic event is left to you. Getting the word out, helping others, is the way I feel the best form of healing. Child abuse is not spoke of as often as it should be. I feel it needs to be heard much more. With this comes verbal, mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. I want to focus more on the sexual abuse. I say this because it's a sensitive topic that gets swept under the rug more than you realize. Children that are sexually abused come from all walks of life, education, and race. The children, most of the time, go without telling a soul and live with the pain and mental state that drains them in every way known. If you are lucky, there are a few that will open up immediately or shortly after the incident takes place. I have came into a case where two brothers were both sexually assaulted in any way possible, but only one came forth. 2 months after the actual rape took place, 3 months after the touching began, 6 months after other abuse occurred, to where it took the other brother 3 months to come forth after his brother, and the abuse was far much longer and happened more than the older brother. It occurred at their father's home, while their father and grandmother were home in bed asleep along with their two younger sisters. It was a 42-year-old cousin they had moved in with. This male cousin was an in-home health nurse that worked with children daily. He had been doing this for many years but had never been caught. The fear and the threats that he made froze many. This man had hid his secret very well and acted as a saint in the eyes of those around him. Once arrested, more came forth. This man had been banned from the Boy Scouts. They will not disclose any information as it makes them look bad, so they swept it under the rug. In 2002, this man was convicted of rape to his roommate. He took a plea bargain, therefore he was not listed as a predator. He was arrested for sexual assault along with other charges in February of 2014 concerning the boys. He was then released on bond due to health reasons. He then committed suicide before a trial date was set for the case against him and these two boys. By this time, others had come forth, all being male family members that he sexually assaulted as well while teenagers. All these men and boys came forth telling their stories, all of which were similar to the two brothers. It sickens me that our system let him fall through the cracks and continue to harm children. The courts have failed these children. My question to you is, if this was your cousin, your child, your sister, your brother, your friend, would you find it fair? Would you find it acceptable? Would you want to stand back and allow this to happen to others? I would hope not. Thankfully, the Laurel Center in Winchester, Virginia is amazing. They help women and children that have been abused. The center is a nonprofit organization. They work off donations and volunteers. The Laurel Center offers counselors and advocates to help with the mental part of, along with all other that takes place in the following days, even months. I have been doing all that I can to get the word out about the Laurel Center. They are wonderful people. So that others can donate to such a wonderful facility. According to childhelp.org, children are suffering from a hidden epic of child abuse and neglect. Every year, more than 3 million reports of child abuse are made in the United States. It has one of the worst records among industrialized nations, losing on average between 4 and 7 children every day to child abuse and neglect. According to the National Child Abuse and Neglect Data System, an estimated 9.3% of confirmed or sustained child abuse and neglect cases in 2005 involved sexual abuse. This figure translates into over 83 1,800 victims in 2005 alone. Other studies suggest that even more children suffer abuse and neglect than victims of sexual abuse, but the number of boys is also significant. This will never end, however, it can be helped. And only you can make a difference. Talk to your child. Let them know that you are always there to listen, that anything they say will be heard. Don't discourage such a conversation or resent what they were saying. It happened. It can happen to you. It can happen to your close family member. It can happen to a friend. Be open-minded with this topic and let your children in your life know how much you love them and that you will protect them. Let them be aware of predators that lurk in the dark seeking their next victim. Get involved in helping children that have been preyed upon and are now trying to get their life back. It takes so much from them. They no longer trust. They lose confidence, can't handle crowds, and so much more. That is just a few things that are affected. The healing process is long and hard.